And here is the Arrma Mojave Desert truck, hence Mojave. So let's start. It's going to be an overview video more than a full review video. Also for me trying to get back into making videos again, just a relatively short one to get back into things. So let's do a what you get in the box. So I've opened the box. Obviously I don't like doing unboxing straight from the box. I like to kind of have everything out, have a little look at it so I can digest what's there myself. So obviously the car, 1/18 scale desert truck. They've released 3 variations of Groms, and they are true variations. They are not the same chassis with 3 different bodies, each different type, which is the desert truck, there's a buggy, and there's a monster truck. All have different chassis and are designed for different purposes. So this is a desert truck. Along with the chassis and buggy itself, you get a 1400 milliamp 2-cell LiPo battery, 7.4 volt, nice little compact unit, hard case, love hard case LiPos. That's nice. With that you get a Spectrum SPMX, an S10 fast charger. Not sure what the QR leads to, might look at that later. I have never seen anything like this before. It's really cool. It comes with its own, oh, I'm breaking the place. Comes with its own USB-C with a USB 3 adapter to be able to charge on the go. So that is a lovely thing. I'm not exactly sure how long it takes to charge. It was already charged when I got the battery, so I kind of run through it, so it's doing quite well. You also get a little credit card thing. Now I'm assuming you get one of these per car. This one is for the Mojave Grom. It has a QR code to get you to the support department and a QR code to get you to a showcase of the Mojave. So that's nice little thing to collect if you get all 3, which I do intend to get all 3 over the course of 2025 at least. I want to be able to do an overview video, a run video, and maybe a more detailed look at the chassis, because as I said, they are all different. Also in the box you get your basic getting started manual in the thousands of languages that they're now produced in. Pretty standard affair. And a technical pack, they call it, but it's more like a technical leaflet. It does have a breakdown of how to get into the motor mount and service the motor, which is quite nice. Some pinion gearing options that you can get for the chassis. Oh, and it folds out into a full exploded view of the car, so you can find all the different parts, etc. there. So that's cool. And along with that, finally, you get the SLT2 Spectrum controller. Nothing too fancy about this. It's a 2-channel. It does, however, have something that I like on modern cars nowadays. In the old days, if you wanted to limit the performance of a car, you would have to go onto the speed controller and go on the program card and actually program it to be less throttle, etc. You've always had the opportunity to be able to do steering and throttle trim, but with this you now also have the option of 50%, 75%, 100% throttle. So a rookie novice driver, just throw it down to 50% and the car is much more forgiving. Also for driving indoors, that's why it's on 50 at the moment. It's much more forgiving and allows you to get used to the car as you're driving it. So I think that's a lovely touch, and I'm glad that's becoming more prevalent on modern cars. Finally, you do get some suspension adjustment clips. You'll see in a moment that the shocks on this are plastic bodied. The hop-up versions are alloy, fully adjustable, and they come with the brushless, by the way. If you are wanting to upgrade, I wouldn't start with brushed, which is what this is. I would actually pay the £230 and get the brushless if you're wanting all the fancy stuff, because it's much more cost effective to do so. Getting the upgrades on top of this car would turn this into a £280 to £300 car. You know, the brushless version is anywhere up to about £160, depending on where you get it from. The upgrades are about another £160 when you put it all together. The alloy shocks, the new diffs, the slightly better drivetrain. When you get all of that with the brushless system as well, you're speaking about another £150 to £160. So you're cheaper just to buy the brushless version. It does come in a couple of colours. I got the red one. You get a blue version, blue and white, and there's also a kind of limited edition gold and black, which is really nice. The body shells, if we now start to look at the actual car itself, the body shell is polycarbonate but reinforced with ABS skid plates on the top. It has a roll cage inside, which is really nice. Nice driver details. And Arrma always do a good job at their body designs. This is a lovely thing to look at all angles. It is a very pretty car. The shell itself is beautifully molded. It's very tough, as I said, very thick polycarbonate, and you'll see in a moment that there's more to it than meets the eye. The attention to detail of the decals is really nice, obviously advertising their D-boots, which is their internal the Arrma brand. The tyres are pretty stiff. They're not, you know, they're quite hard, but they're bashing tyres. I'm contemplating getting foams actually for this, so I can drive it inside on carpet, but we'll maybe look at that in the future. What's really nice is there's no body clips. There's nothing to you know, fiddle with to try and take the body shell off. It's a very easy system to do, and it's basically this little button here. There's one on either side, and all you need to do is push them in. Oh, yeah, you just, I'm trying to find one, there it is. Push it in, and that's it. Put the chassis aside for a second. So the body shell is almost a chassis by itself. Look at that. Look at the work of the engineering that's gone into that. Isn't that lovely? It's a 4-pin mount, so these holes go onto supports on the chassis. I'll just bring that in a little bit so you can see. There's the supports on the chassis. They pin in, and they're spring clipped. Very easy to take on and off. And as I said, it's brilliantly engineered. And when this is on the car, it feels so solid. It's really, really nice. So I'll just put that aside. And the chassis. So the actual chassis itself, as I said, 18th scale, but it's done in a similar way as what Lossy have done. So when Lossy released the Mini 8, they basically scaled down the Lossy 8, the 8 scale, and that's kind of what Arrma have done here. All three of the chassis that you get for the Groms are of a different design. They're all based on their larger counterparts. So this desert truck, is it a Senator? Something like that. 1/10 and 1/8 scale. This is an 18th scale version of it. Really easy access to take off the brace, the chassis brace, to be able to get into the differentials and the steering controls. It's a very simple steering system. The electronics, etc., you get in the car are pretty standard fare for an Arrma. It's the Spectrum SPMXS It's a combi unit, receiver and speed controller. There is a fan that is situated in between the speed controller and the motor, and this is the 380 brushed version. It's offset weight wise, so the battery can go on the other side. Yeah, so you know, nothing amazing. I do believe the brushless one comes with the counter steer version of the ESC and speed controller, so it helps you actually steer, the gyroscopic version of it. Can't confirm that at the moment, but you can get them to be able to do that. Four-wheel drive, and as I said, plastic bodied shocks. They are oil filled and they are really, really nice. They feel brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's dog bone rear drive shafts. They are metal, which is nice. Sometimes, again, with other brands, you will get them plastic, but these are metal. And everything that is plastic is chunky. And you know, as a benefit of some of the chunkiness of stuff, even the body mounts have got this nice kind of chunky, flexible feel to them, and the bumpers are amazing. That just adds to the robustness of the entire chassis. Very, very cool. Very cool indeed. And it's a really nice thing to look at. Drop test. Yes. Really, really nice. Very good suspension. And that's kind of, you know, that's the overview of it. There it is. As I said, I've driven it a couple of times inside. It handles really nicely. It feels very balanced, and especially when you put the body shell on, which is really very simple to do. Just line them up. That's it. Body shell is on. It's a solid platform, and I'm really excited about driving it, and excited about getting the other two over the course of the year. Yeah, so there we go. The Arrma Mojave Grom. Grom stands for little nowadays. I'm not exactly sure why. You get a Honda Grom, which is a tiny little motorbike, which I have ridden and looked silly on because I'm 6'2". So on a little bike like that, I did look a bit out of place. But hopefully we'll get the other couple of these, and I'll do an overview video similar to this. I'll do a running video, and we'll maybe go into some more details about the drivetrain of each one at a later date. I love Arrma. I've always loved Arrma. I used to be a driver. I used to race Durangos. The DEX 210 was my car, and Durango, if you're unaware, was the original company for Arrma. Back in 2012, maybe 2014, Durango closed their doors, and arose Arrma, and I got one of their first ever cars, which was a very slimline chassis kind of desert buggy thing. Really cool. Bit tricky to work on, but very cool. And since then, Arrma have just knocked it out of the park. I think their vehicles are beautifully designed, beautifully made, and I would like to get a couple of the larger ones. So I'm tempted with the Fury short course two-wheel drive that they have just recently released as well. That's a 1/10 scale. I'm tempted with that, but I definitely want to get the Typhoon Grom and probably the Granite Grom as well over the course of the year. Next for me will be a series of build videos. I'm going to be building a Tamiya St. Dragon four-wheel drive. It's a car that when it first was released, was it a Thunder Dragon chassis? I think it was about 87, 88 or something like that. An evolution of the Hotshot and Boomerang chassis. That was one of the first four-wheel drive cars I wanted as a kid, but unfortunately it was at the time when I was moving originally away from RC and going into other things. But I have that to build. I'm going to be doing a review videos of some of my other cars that I have that nobody has ever seen. And 2025 I'm hoping is going to be quite a good hobby year for me. I'm looking forward to doing many more videos. So on that note, I do wish everybody a happy 2025, a prosperous 2025, and let's hope we all get to do excellent hobby things and have a lot of fun with RC. It's one of the best hobbies in the world, and I really want to try and promote it again, and move this channel forward. It's been the RC Buggy Bash channel has been going for several years now. I'm not a regular poster, but I'm hoping to change that. A couple of my videos have excess of 20,000 views or more. Some have 10, but it's a fickle game we play as kind of YouTube hobbyists and reviewers, etc. So, but yeah, hopefully 2025 will be amazing for us all. I've got a better setup. This little studio in my spare bedroom now is working quite well. My wife, who is a polymer jeweler, she makes jewellery. She'll also be probably doing videos in here too. So it's a multi-functioning space. But I'm excited about what's going to happen in this new year. So, on that note, have a great new year, everybody, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and hit that like button. Every little helps. I'm hoping this year to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm on 80, maybe at the moment, 79, 80. So there's a long way to go, but I do hope that's one of the main goals this year, is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And with your help, I'm hopefully going to be able to do that. So there we go. The Arrma Mojave Grom. I highly recommend this little thing. It's amazing. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.